guys. I'm ready to show what I got. NBA, here I come, baby. It's now or nothing.
Oh, you gotta love the positive energy in his first NBA game, folks. Happy Halloween here on opening day. I'm Kevin Harlan along with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. Are you as ready as we are? It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Glad you could join us. What an exciting game. Opening night in the NBA. State Farm presents the starting lineups. First, for the Rockets, Jeremy Lin and Kevin Martin manning the backcourt. And inside at center from Turkey, one of the best defending big men in the game, 7-footer Omar Ashik. Then there's Chandler Parsons, and it's Patterson in at the 4 slot. And for Detroit, Knight and Stuckey are manning the backcourt. And playing at center, the 6'11 big man out of Georgetown, versatile scorer, terrific passer, Greg Monroe. Then there's Tayshaun Prince, and it's Maxeel in at the 4 spot.
Well, there's a pretty clear picture now of what Detroit is trying to accomplish, and that's build their identity around their young players, guys like Stuckey and Monroe and Brandon Knight.
Iverson comes in off the bench for his first playing time in an official NBA game.
He's one of the players who got a ton of attention leading up to the draft, and rightfully so. He's an amazing talent.
Yeah, you know, Steve, he was high on every team's wish list. You knew somebody was going to make him a first-round draft choice, and this is it, his chance to show what he's capable of.
Now here's Lin. Now the feed to Morris. Yes! And a nice assist from Lin. And the Rockets lead by 4. Steve, going back to what you said, the front office is a big point for them as they bring players in.
That's huge, Kevin. It really is. A good attitude and a solid work ethic. I mean, you can go really far with those attributes, and it's paid off for the Pistons as their young players have continued to improve each year.
No good from Maggette.
It's clear they had one thing on their mind when they came out of the gate today: rebound.
Yeah, and they've opened up the game with a pretty good margin in that area. Great sign for this club.
And they get it back. Johnson can't get it to go. Pistons trail by 4. Inside, Drummond.
Well, a lot of blocking shots is instincts, and you either have them or you don't. It seems to me that Drummond has them. I mean, you see the way he times that block perfectly, really coming over from the weak side in particular and protecting the basket.
On the court.
We're closing in on 2 minutes played here in the second quarter. Prince setting a pick for Monroe. Prince up top. He passes to Knight. Monroe with a screen on Martin. Clock at 6. Monroe's shot is good.
Well, what makes Greg Monroe good is the fact that he's a very well-rounded offensive player. Coming out of Georgetown, where he ran that Princeton offense, he understands passing angles. He's become a very efficient scorer and passer for the Pistons. They run a lot of offense through him.
Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Hey, Kevin. Well, the Pistons are trying to make some much-needed improvement defensively. Coach Lawrence Frank has given his players an interesting incentive, saying, quote, "We give the ultimate gold ticket to players. If we get stops, we just play out of basketball principles. We don't run set plays off of misses. So if I'm a player and I want freedom, I'm going to get stops." Kevin, this is an intriguing way to encourage that kind of effort on the defensive end.
Defense, maybe not as much fun as offense. You're putting that carrot out there. Makes some sense. So for the Pistons, Jerebko comes in for Greg Monroe. And Villanueva is subbed in for Tayshaun Prince. Carlos Delfino's checked in for the Rockets. Rockets leading by 7. And, you know, speaking of Greg Monroe, he's really expanded his repertoire offensively. His rookie season, no plays called for him. It was mostly offensive rebounding and cuts off the ball.
Well, that's one way to get points, but he's become more efficient posting up right now. And also, he's facing up to knock down that mid-range jumper a little more consistently. So the versatility he showed in college, starting to be on display in the NBA, too.
Knight kicks to Maxeel and stolen by Iverson. Pass to Martin with the lead pass, and it's Patterson finishing it off.
Great finish there, Kevin. Took it strong to the cup.
Yeah, an aggressive two-handed jam.
And that's the kind you like, especially in traffic. You got to make sure.
Knight gets a screen from Axiel. And here in the second quarter of action, as we approach 4 minutes played, gets it to go. Villanueva's got 5 now.
That's what a good solid screen will do for you. It gets you a good look at the hoop.
Wide open. And it's Houston with another. Iverson scores his first basket here in the NBA, the beginning to hopefully a long and prosperous career.
Well, he's probably not a player who you're going to say is one of the best in any particular area, but he brings plenty to the table in a variety of ways. He's a solid player.
That he does, Steve, and in a lot of ways that you can't necessarily see in numbers when you talk attitude, work ethic, how he plays his role and embraces that, the kind of intangibles that you only notice when you watch him over a period of time.
Outside, Martin goes back up. Can't get it to go.
And that's a shot he had to take.
For sure, it was a good decision, just poor execution.
Now, you talk about Pistons head coach Lawrence Frank. He has a reputation for hard work, very meticulous. Not a guy who had a big pedigree in his basketball career to lean on, so he really made his way with hard work and determination.
And Lawrence Frank, as you mentioned, Steve, not a guy who played the game at a high level. And it's the Rockets with the ball. 14 points, their largest lead in the game. Iverson dishes to Lynn. Then to Patterson. Stolen by Monroe. Stuckey against Lynn. Stuckey kicks to Monroe. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Monroe's got 6.
You know, down there in the low post is where you really want to create a lot of your offense.
Dishes it to Lynn. Overnight. The Rockets again can't hit.
This just has not been his day so far.
Right through the D for the layup.
You know, they're just getting hammered inside and really need to find a way to be tougher down there. They got to be physical. They got to man up in there.
I agree. I mean, you look at the points they're giving up. Most of them seem to be coming inside the paint.
Patterson, the screen. Iverson with the ball. Rodney Stuckey covered. And it's Patterson finishing it off.
He's a bit short for the power forward spot, but his great leaping ability more than makes up for it.
Pistons trail by 12. There's the dish to Stuckey. All alone. Rebounded by Douglas. The Rockets shooting 41% from the field here in the second. Here's Iverson. That's good with a Douglas assist. Douglas has got 4 assists in the game. And here is Knight. 35 seconds left now here in the second. Monroe down low. And stolen by Iverson. Oh, and a fast break for the Rockets. Stolen by Maggette. 19 seconds left in the first half of the game. Now Knight. The pass to Monroe. Back to Knight. That one goes. Count it. Knight's got his second basket.
Love the finish there. Not much defense, though.
From deep. No good trying to beat the buzzer. And that does it for the first half of play. Rockets lead by 12. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from the Palace of Auburn Hills.
Now, presented by Sprint.
The spookiest day of the year, Halloween. It's really not that scary. Not during the 2K Sports halftime report, anyway. The Houston Rockets in front against Detroit. Smart decision-making offensively, great ball handling. They've been limiting turnovers. And for Detroit's angle, they've been grinding away. They've turned this game into a track meet, and they're running the defense ragged. And that'll be all for this episode. It's in the books. I'm all done reading. Thanks so much for watching, and enjoy the second half.
And welcome back to the second half of our Halloween broadcast. Pistons trail by 7.
You know, Houston for the last several years has tried to get a star player on their roster, but it's so difficult to do. There's only about 10 of them in the entire league. But what they've done is they've put a lot of good players on the floor. They've built their asset base, and they're poised to make a deal when the right one comes their way.
Douglas, the pass to Patterson. Over Urepko. No luck. The Pistons go the other way with it. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. The Rockets have been all 4 of their chances so far in this one.
Well, pretty good numbers for this club a year ago, Kevin. 78% as a team from the free throw line.
You know, something you can point to when you're talking about
So it's Detroit now. 4-point game. Got a piece of it. And stolen by Iverson. And Parsons kicks to Iverson. Can't get it to go.
You know, as tight as this game is, you have to like their chances the way they've been rebounding.
They have a pretty good margin in that department, so they've got to continue to hit the boards hard. It'll pay off for them in the end.
They grab their own miss. A second chance effort. That's good. And the Pistons lead by 6.
And defensively, guys, they've lost something since halftime. I mean, they've given up open looks. They've got to buckle down and get some stops here. Play with some urgency.
Back to Patterson. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Patterson's got 6 in the quarter.
I think he's done his part to try to keep him in this game. It's been a solid effort from him, guys.
Passes it to Dick. Back to Maggette. Iverson covering. And that one's good by Maggette.
Well, that makes 5 of their last 6 makes coming from inside.
Yeah, really focused on getting the ball into the paint because they're taking advantage of very porous defense down there.
Iverson dishes to Martin. A three-pointer, no good.
Looks like he's just trying to shoot his way out of this cold spell, but I don't know about that shot attempt.
Maggette the pass to Prince. Maxiel sets a screen for Prince. It's rebounded by Houston. Martin's got 3 rebounds now in this one. And it's their first look at this year's Pistons here for the first game of the NBA's 82-game regular season.
Well, some called their series last year kind of a measuring stick for which conference was the better one, and they represented their conference pretty well.
He feeds it today. Back to Maggette. There's the double team with Martin. Unloads from 13. Another shot. He lays it in with a soft touch. Monroe's got 12 points in just the second half.
You know, he's got a very laid-back demeanor in person, but he plays hard, and he does a nice job of really following shots, getting offensive rebounds, and finishing second-chance opportunities.
And, Steve, that activity extends to the defensive end as well. I mean, he's still improving there, but he's already pretty good at stripping the ball away from shooters as they get into the shooting motion.
Steve just talked about it. These teams were in very similar positions in their respective conference standings last season.
And Kevin, they made their conference look pretty good by taking both of those games.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, guys, Kevin McHale had some advice for the team in that last break. He told them it's time to fight and take the lead. Let's put ourselves in position to bring it home. Guys, we'll see if they've got what it takes to get it done.
Really strong performance by them so far on the glass.
You know, the lead they have in the rebounding category is also part of the reason they're on top on the scoreboard as well. 3 straight buckets in the paint. They're making it look effortless.
Well, speaking of effortless, we'd like to see a little more out of the defense. How about trying, guys?
That bucket in no time at all. And that's now 17 points for Martin.
In the first half, they didn't shoot nearly as many threes. But finding themselves down now, they've started to cast up a lot more triples.
And Monroe kicks to Prince. There's the pass to Stuckey. Stolen by Martin. Iverson with the ball. Rodney Stuckey covering. Here's Patterson. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Well, Patrick Patterson in this one, 22 points, and when it comes to rebounding, he's had a nice night there, too.
Yeah, he's really been mixing it up in the middle, getting in there and doing a lot of the dirty work for him.
Second free throw misses.
Now, even though they're down, I like their mentality. Work it inside and try to create some contact down low.
I like it as well. I mean, you just can't assume that you can shoot your way back into it when you're down. You got to grind it out, and part of that is getting the ball inside.
Monroe, no good. Rockets trail by 4. Here's Iverson. Another miss by Houston. Pistons shooting pretty good tonight at 48%. There's a minute left in the fourth quarter. Here's Monroe. Puts the lead pass in front of him. Here's Parsons. Count it!
Big-time shot.
Really clutch.
Detroit's gotten off to a great start from three-point range in the final quarter. They're a perfect 3 of 3. Knight kicks to Monroe. And the defense didn't have position. They whistle a blocking foul, and he'll go to the line. Gets the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead. He's off that time. Second free throw missing. Clark, no room for error.
Kevin, got to be perfect from here on out. You're exactly right.
Patterson. Rodney Stuckey pulls it in.
You'd expect him to nail that one being that close to the hoop.
Clark, they'll be trying to take as much time off the clock as they can.
Exactly. Expect to see some long possessions out of them going forward.
The jump hook. Monroe, no good.
He worked himself into a really good position there, right near the basket. That's the look you want.
That's blocked. Out of bounds. Rockets ball as Houston keeps possession. Iverson outside. Feeds it to Martin to tie it up. Count it! A tremendous free to tie it up. What a difference in this crowd right now, Clark.
Yeah, they're breathless, nervous, and quiet.
Yep. Wow. It is quiet time, Clark. You got that right. That was a huge shot.
Regulation is ended, and we're heading to overtime. And don't go away. We'll be back momentarily. And what great competition we're seeing so far. After 4 quarters, a stalemate. And we'll see now how these two teams in these few minutes of basketball pan out. Now, here is Monroe. And so it's the Pistons taking care of business here. Clark, what a game.
Yeah, they kept their cool.
One, 2. Check me out right here, yo.
Yo, the sun don't shine forever, but as long as